All right, let's dive into something we all do, but maybe don't always think too much about. How to introduce yourself, how to do it confidently in English. We've got this awesome resource that breaks it all down, and they've got it split up in these 4 chapters. We'll get into it all. From how to talk about what you do for work, to your hobbies, and even, like your personality.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, people often think introductions are just a formality, but they're so important because it's the foundation of any interaction you have, and there's so much more to it than just your name and what you do.
For sure. So let's jump into chapter 1 here, which is all about how we talk about our work lives. I mean, we've all said it right. I work as a kit. It works. It gets the point across, but it's not very exciting. Our source actually suggests this other way to say it, which is I'm pursuing a career in.
Oh, yeah, I love that because that just changes the whole tone, right? Now it's about ambition, about moving forward, about like really being in charge of your career instead of just, having a job. It's like you're actively shaping what you do, where you go,
Yeah. Right. Like think about the difference between saying I work as a marketer versus I am pursuing a career in digital marketing.
Totally. The second one, it makes you sound so driven, like you've got a plan.
Exactly. And our source talks about another great phrase for showing how much you've grown in your work. Work my way up. Like I started as an intern, worked my way up to project manager or something like that.
I like that because it shows dedication, that
Yeah.
you're not afraid of hard work. It shows that growth mindset, which is something that everyone, like whether it's a new friend or an employer, everyone likes to see that.
Yeah. It's like saying, I'm here to grow and learn, you
Right.
know. But what if you want to show off how much you know about something? Like if you've got some special knowledge, our source suggests using the phrase field of expertise.
Right, because then instead of just saying your job title, you're really owning what makes you unique. You're showing you're not just knowledgeable, but you're passionate about it.
Exactly. Like my field of expertise is sustainable agriculture. Sounds so much cooler than just, saying your job.
Totally. It really makes people want to know more, too. Like it invites conversation. What would you say is your field of expertise?
Oh, good question. I think mine would have to be.
It could be anything, like coding or cooking or even like medieval history.
Okay, I'd say podcasting is probably my field of expertise. But anyway, what about when you want to highlight what's most important in your work right now? Our source uses the phrase primary focus for that.
That's a good one, yeah.
Like my primary focus at work is developing user-friendly mobile apps or something.
And what's cool is that you can use that outside of work too, right? Like your primary focus could be learning a new language or raising a family,
Oh, that's true. It really shows a more well-rounded picture of who you are. Now, here's one last phrase for talking about work that our source suggests, and it's kind of a subtle one, but it's powerful. Oversee.
Ooh.
Like I oversee a team of 10 designers.
I like that because it shows you're in charge, but without sounding too formal.
Right. It implies that leadership, but in a more relaxed way.
It's like you're taking ownership and you're responsible, which is a good look in any situation.
Okay, so, listener, think about yourself using these phrases when you introduce yourself.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Pretty cool, right? Even small changes to the way you talk can make a big difference.
And the best part is the more you use them, the more natural they'll become. It'll just be how you talk.
Exactly. So we've got the work side of things covered, but let's move on to chapter 2, which is all about hobbies and interests.
Yes, because work isn't everything, right? It's important to be well-rounded and to show people what you're passionate about outside of work, too.
Exactly. And I love the phrase our source uses for talking about starting a new hobby.
Which one?
They say take up a new hobby.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. It makes it sound so active, like you're really going after what you want.
Yeah.
Like, I recently took up pottery as a way to unwind.
Love it. And it can be anything, too, from learning a language to volunteering to training for a marathon.
So what have you been meaning to take up?
Hmm.
What about you, listener? What's that thing you keep putting off? Maybe now's the time to go for it.
Yeah, you never know what you'll find you love. But, what about those things you're already good at? What if you want to talk about those?
Oh, yeah. And our source has a phrase for that, too.
What is it?
I have a knack for baking, and I love experimenting with new flavors.
Oh, that's a good one. It's like you're good at it, but it comes naturally.
Right. It doesn't sound like you're bragging. It's just something you enjoy and you're good at.
I like that. It makes people want to share what they have a knack for, too.
Yeah. So what about when you want to talk about how you relax?
Relaxing, yes. Everyone needs to unwind, right?
For sure. And the word our source uses is unwind, as in like, I like to unwind by listening to podcasts.
I mean, of course they use podcasts as the example, but seriously, it's so important to show people how you recharge. It gives them a glimpse into, like, your personality and how you manage stress.
Totally. And what about those hobbies that you just completely lose yourself in, The ones where you lose track of time because you're so
Yeah,
focused.
I get that. For me,
But the phrase our source suggests is immerse yourself in. Like, I enjoy immersing myself in DIY projects over the weekend.
okay, I like that. It really emphasizes that deep focus,
Yeah.
like you're completely present in the moment.
Right. It can be anything. Gardening, playing music, spending time in nature.
Anything that really makes you feel alive.
Yeah. And last but not least, let's talk about how to really show your enthusiasm when you're introducing yourself. Our source uses the word avid for that, as in, I'm an avid cyclist and I love exploring new trails.
Ah, avid, yeah. It really makes it sound like you're passionate about it.
It takes it to the next level. It's not just something you do, it's part of who you are. So what would your avid descriptor be? Avid reader, avid gamer, avid bird watcher.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Um, I'd have to say, welcome back. We're going to keep going with our deep dive, and now I think it's time to move beyond just knowing, like, the right words to say.
For sure. It's one thing to have a bunch of good phrases in your back pocket, but it's a
Yeah.
whole other thing to know when to use them.
Right. Context is everything. Think about it. How you introduce yourself at a work conference is going to be different from how you introduce yourself at, a pottery class.
Yeah. Totally different vibes.
Exactly. So we've got to be aware of the situation and how to adapt, right?
For sure. So let's try and think about some different situations and how we can use those great phrases we've learned.
Okay, first one. Picture this. You're at a big networking event. Everyone's got name tags and business cards. There's like a nervous energy in the air.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling.
So what's the vibe we're going for there?
I'd say definitely professional, confidence, make a good impression.
Exactly. So instead of the usual, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm a marketing manager, try using one of those power phrases like, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm pursuing a career in digital marketing with a primary focus on social media strategy.
Oh, yeah. Much better.
Yeah,
Shows you're serious about what you do,
totally. And it's not just about what you say either, it's about how you present yourself.
Oh, yeah. Body language. Got to nail that, too.
Exactly. In a professional setting, firm handshake, good eye contact, genuine smile.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to make people feel comfortable, like you actually want to talk to them.
Pro.
Okay, so now let's imagine a completely different scene. Like we're at a casual hangout with friends.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. Like a game night or something where there's some new people you haven't met before.
Okay, so in that situation, what kind of introduction works best?
I'd say it's all about being friendly and finding some common ground, Instead of going on about your work achievements, maybe you start by mentioning something you have in common or, just a compliment.
Right, like, hi, I'm Mark. Those cupcakes look amazing. Did you make them yourself?
Exactly. Or like, hey, I'm Sarah. I love your shirt. Where'd you get it?
Yeah.
Casual, friendly.
Perfect. And then from there, you can naturally bring in some of those other phrases like, oh, yeah, I recently took up baking, or I've been meaning to take up rock climbing or something.
Yeah, exactly. Just gives people a little more to go on,
Yeah.
Makes you more memorable.
For sure. Okay, so we've done networking events, casual hangouts. What about something like a coffee date or a more one-on-one kind of meeting?
Ooh, okay, so it's professional but still kind of relaxed.
Exactly. You want to build a connection but still be respectful of their time.
Okay, so what's the best approach there?
Well, I think it's good to start by acknowledging why you're meeting and being appreciative. Like, hi, Lisa, it's great to finally meet you. Thanks for taking the time to chat about this project.
Oh, I like that. It's straightforward but still friendly.
Yeah, and then you can briefly mention your background, but keep it focused on what's relevant to the meeting.
Right, like if it's for a potential freelance project or something. You could say, as you know, I've been freelancing as a graphic designer for the past few years, and I'm really passionate about creating visually stunning brand identities.
Exactly. You're giving them context without overwhelming them.
Yeah, for sure. And, of course, don't forget to be interested in them, too. Ask questions. Show that you're actually engaged in the conversation.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear more about your vision for this project or something. It shows you're listening and you care.
So we've covered, like professional networking, casual gatherings, one-on-one meetings. It's amazing how just thinking about the situation can totally change how you approach introductions.
Right. It's like having a secret code for confident introductions in any situation.
I love that. But is there anything else, like any other secret tips we should know?
Oh, there's always one more secret ingredient, right?
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me. What is it?
It's all about being present, like really connecting with the person you're talking to.
Okay, so it's not just about the words themselves.
Right. It's about the energy, the intention behind them. Think about like someone who just lights up a room when they walk in.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not always about what they say, it's how they say it. They make eye contact, they listen, they respond genuinely. They're just present in the moment.
I get it. You could have like the most amazing introduction memorized, but if you're not really focused on the person you're talking to.
Exactly. It's not going to land the way you want it to.
So how do we do that? How do we really be present when we're introducing ourselves?
Well, one thing that helps is storytelling.
Ooh, I love a good story.
Right. Instead of just listing off your accomplishments or hobbies, try weaving them into a story,
Okay, yeah, I like that. So instead of saying, like, I'm a software developer, maybe I say something like, I fell in love with coding in high school when I built a website for my band.
Yes. Perfect.
And it was the first time I realized I could, like, create something from nothing, and I was hooked.
Exactly. Now you've taken a boring fact and made it personal,
Yeah, and stories are so much more memorable, too.
Exactly. They help people connect with you on a deeper level.
Okay, listener, think about your story. What's that moment that made you passionate about what you do?
What's that experience that really defines you?
Don't be afraid to share it.
And don't be afraid to be a little vulnerable, a little funny, It makes you relatable.
Yeah, totally. And you know what else?
What?
Enthusiasm. That's so important.
Oh, absolutely. Enthusiasm is contagious, right?
Totally. If you're excited about what you're talking about, other people will be too.
It's like they say, your energy introduces you before you even speak.
Love that.
Uh,
Okay, so we've got powerful phrases, we've got situational awareness, storytelling, enthusiasm. What else do we need?
Honestly, I think that couples it. The last piece of advice I would give is just practice.
Practice makes perfect, right?
It really does. The more you practice your introduction, the more natural it will feel. You can practice in front of a mirror, with a friend, even record yourself and listen back.
Yeah, good idea.
Whatever works for you, the important thing is to just get comfortable with it.
Awesome. Well, I feel like I've learned so much from this deep dive, and I hope our listeners have too.
Me too. It's been fun.
Remember, everyone, it's about finding what works for you, practicing, and just having fun with it.
Exactly. Every introduction is a chance to make a new connection, share your story, and just shine.
That's a great way to put it. Well, that's it for this episode of The Deep Dive. We'll be back next time with another exciting topic, ready to explore and empower you with knowledge. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep those conversations flowing.